Joined now by Monisha Kaltenborn, part owner and CEO of Team Sauber. Monisha, welcome to Montreal.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. Well, let's start at the beginning of your F1 career. How did you get involved in the world of F1 racing?
It was actually a total coincidence because from the background I've studied law. It's not really the natural career you're looking at. I started working in a company who was a co-owner at that time of the team. So one of my projects was Formula One, which was very interesting, exciting, and I got insight into all relevant areas, such as driver contracts, sponsorship contracts, everything which is legally regulated. And then when that partnership with Peter Sauber ended, I was asked by Peter if I'd like to join the team, and this is how I came in.
Well, maybe from an unlikely beginning, you're now CEO and I said part owner. Obviously, you mentioned Peter Sauber. What kind of relationship do you have and what advice has he given you?
Well, I think we have a very interesting relationship because he's so much present in the company. He's founded the company bears his name, and yet I think it took a lot for him to take this step back and trust somebody else with his life work, I'd say, with his legacy, and that's a lot of responsibilities.
Well, you're a woman with many titles, not only CEO and part owner, but you're also known as the First Lady of F1 racing because, of course, you are the first and only female principal in the world of F1. What's it like being a trailblazer in such a male-dominated sport?
Well, it's not that easy always because particularly when you meet people from outside the sport, they don't think that you're actually in that position when they meet you, so it comes as quite a surprise to them. And it is very much, in spite of women coming up more and more in technical areas, male-dominated. So, they are surprised sometimes when you come in with some technical aspects and discuss that with them. It's just a very unusual situation. But I must say, once you're in the sport for a longer time, I've never had any difficulties there. So people, if they know you, they respect you as much as anyone else, and you are very much taken seriously.
Well, the teams that seem to win a lot, and we're going to see this weekend, but it seems like they're the teams with the biggest pocketbooks, and you've spoken out about the economic imbalance between the teams. What do you propose to solve that problem?
Well, there are basically three things we have to look at. First of all, we have to look at the overall cost situation, and I think the dimensions we have reached in the last couple of years are just far too high for any company, and people always think about the smaller teams which might vanish. I think you also have to keep in mind that big teams will probably also not stay at this level of spending for years and years to come. You have to introduce a cost cap, which we favor very much because we think that's a very equitable way to bring costs down and yet keep that competition alive, that diversity alive. Second thing you have to look at is certainly stability within the rules. Because we've seen in the last years, again, somebody comes up with this really good idea, it's very cost intensive, everyone else follows that, and you very well know that next year it's going to be forbidden. So these are not the kind of investments you should be doing. And the third thing you certainly have to look at is how you distribute the money.
Okay, well, I mean, aside from money, what sets Sauber apart from the big teams like Ferrari or Red Bull or Mercedes?
Well, first of all, if you are a big team like this, you have a very different backing. It's not only financial, you have different aspects maybe to technological things, which a smaller team does not have, because you can tap into a very different technology pool, particularly with a manufacturer in the background. And then, of course, the resources, human resources you have as well. So it makes it difficult for a private team, but it's not the point here because you very much accept that as a private team. This has always been the case that there have been private teams driving against manufactured teams. That's not the problem. The problem is that you need to have, in a way, a field which has its limits, and within that you can get your chance, which we also had 2 years ago with getting podiums in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, with all these changes, I was asking you a little bit earlier what your favorite part about being here in Montreal is and this race. Can you share with me what's so special about Montreal for you?
Well, sure. It's a fantastic race to start with. It's a very challenging track, a great track. And apart from that, what's very unique for here is the way the track is embedded in the city. And we usually have locations where we are far out somewhere and you get no feeling for the atmosphere around the Grand Prix in the city with the fans. And here, the hotels are all placed somewhere in town. You're very much in the center and you just need to step out and you have this great atmosphere, people really enjoying this weekend and being a part of this great event, this great sport.
Well, excellent. I mean, best of luck to you this weekend, and thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.